Hey folks, it's Rob from Rob's Movie Collection, and tonight I did something spontaneous. I went over to Fry's Electronics to just look around, and I ended up getting a lot of stuff, enough to do one of these haul videos again. Normally when I do one of these haul videos, it's from stuff I've bought the last couple of weeks, or the bi-yearly Criterion sale or Black Friday stuff, but rarely it's just like one shot like this. So but I ended up buying a lot of stuff, so here it is. If you guys have your own Fry's Electronics out there, it's a pretty good place to get some stuff. So I'm gonna start with the lesser price, going up to the more expensive one. Not even really expensive, but you know, from less to more. Okay, let's start. First up, I got House on Haunted Hill. This is a Vincent Price movie. I've never actually seen this movie, but I've always heard that it's pretty good. And anything with Vincent Price, really, I just like Vincent Price. I think he's really great. And yeah, you know, I've heard it's a pretty good movie. You know, it's on. I got it on DVD for $2.99. That's not bad. So pretty good. So next up, I've got Horrors of Spider Island. Now, also for $2.99 in DVD. Now, the thing about me is that I'm into science fiction and fantasy stuff, and another thing I really like bad, cheap B movies, you know, especially the sci-fi kind of stuff. And I've never heard of this film. I've never seen it, but first of all, blood-curdling, hair-raising, spine-chilling Horrors of Spider Island. That just sounds great. And the back of it, I'm not even going to go into it, but it looks terrible. And that's what I love about it. That's just awesome. It'll go well with one of my other ones that I got from Fry's one time, Voyage to the Planet of Prehistoric Women. So you can kind of tell how this is going to go. But yeah, I love these. You know, people have said they love saying that Ed Wood is one of the worst filmmaker of all time. I don't think so. You don't see some of these movies from the 70s. So I'm glad to add this one to my collection, and really looking forward to whatever the hell it turns out to be like. Great monster right there. Okay, so next up, got a Blu-ray, The Caine Mutiny with Humphrey Bogart, Jose Ferrer, Van Johnson, and Fred MacMurray. This is one of his best. This is the one where he's got the, you know, his very famous scene where he's sitting on the stand. He's got the little, the ball bearings in his hand, and he's kind of doing that with them. And okay, that just looks weird. Sorry, but you know what I mean if you've seen it. Pretty good, and glad to add it to my Humphrey Bogart collection. There, I've been getting a lot of his lately. I got Casablanca recently on Blu-ray. Now that I actually have a Blu-ray player, I'm able to. Before I was just able to look at the DVD section at Fry's Electronics, but now I'm able to go a little more and look at the Blu-ray section as well. So I'm glad I got that for $4. Not bad. Next up, I got one called Powder. This is a film I saw years ago, and it turned out to be pretty good. Jeff Goldblum's in it, Mary Steenburgen, and this kid named Sean Patrick Flannery. He was Indiana Jones in the Young Indiana Jones Chronicle, and I thought he was really good on that show, and he did a good job in this movie. And it's kind of hard to explain. I'm not going to go into it now since I'm trying to get through this fast, but it's a pretty good movie. I really enjoyed it. So next up, I got on DVD season 1 and 2 of Wings. Wings is a little show from the I believe late 80s, early 90s, or somewhere around there. I've always liked Wings. I actually have season 3 and 4, and which I got there before, and I got that because they didn't have 1 and 2 at the time. But now I came across it for $6.99 for 2 seasons. That's not bad, you know. I don't think they're full seasons. I think maybe season 1 was a shorter season than season 2, but either way, it's pretty good, and I always really enjoy this show. And hey, glad I have it. So next up, I think all the rest of them are Blu-rays. I'm really adding to my Blu-ray collection. I got this one, The Lady from Shanghai, starring Orson Welles and Rita Hayworth. Now, I'm not big on the film noir movies, but I've heard about this movie. I think I might have even heard about it on YouTube. In fact, Mike from Gray 1951, if you're watching this, I know you I believe you're into the, or you like the noir movies. Maybe it was from you I heard about. I'm not sure. I don't remember. My memory is so bad. But I've heard this is a good movie, so you can tell me if I made a good buy here, because it sounded very interesting reading the back of it, and I thought for $7.99 I'll take a chance. So you can tell me if I made a good buy here. But I'm actually kind of looking forward to seeing this one. And you got Rita Hayworth there with blonde short hair, very different from Gilda. So yeah, we're kind of looking forward to seeing this one. Okay, so next up I got Dune. I recently showed Dune in my top 10 sci-fi movies from the 80s, which I'm sure all of you and more have watched, right? Yes. I'm sure you've seen all those videos. But and I have it on DVD, but I've always wanted to get it on Blu-ray, and of course I never could before because I didn't have a Blu-ray player, but because this has documentaries on it that the DVD doesn't have. It's got some documentaries on, of course, the making of the movie, and some documentaries on model work, which always interests me a lot, especially in these movies back before the CG was around. I love seeing the model work and the behind scenes of that. I recall at some point in the past seeing a steelbook of this somewhere. I don't know if it was steelbook of the Blu-ray or steelbook of the DVD, but I thought that's what this was going to be, but I guess not. But even if it was a steelbook of the DVD, well, I've already got the DVD anyway. But the reason I got this was because of those extra features, and I like documentaries, behind-the-scenes documentaries, especially in movies that have special effects. So glad I found this, and definitely added it to my collection there. Next up, I got one that I have been looking for a long time, and I'm so glad I found it. I was very happy. The Shadow, starring Alec Baldwin. Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows. I had this on videotape. I never managed to get it on DVD, and here it was all of a sudden, just one copy. Found it, and I've always liked this movie a lot. It's not one of those big successes, but I always enjoyed it a lot, and I just like the way they made it, and it's really good. So I'm very happy that I found that. Very ecstatic about that. So that's great. Moving on, I got Creepshow. Yes, I came across Creepshow. Somebody was talking about, I forget who it was that was talking about recently getting Creepshow 2. And that got me to thinking about Creepshow and how I didn't have that in my collection. Creepshow, if you haven't seen it, it's like an anthology movie of 4 different stories. I never really read the magazine or anything, but I really enjoyed this movie, and it was good. It's got a lot of good little stories there in the 4 stories. So I'm glad I came across it. This was another unexpected one that I came across that I didn't really expect to find. So. That was really good. And lastly, last Blu-ray I got, Forbidden Planet. A classic of science fiction. I'm surprised I didn't already have this, but somehow I'd never gotten around to finding it or getting it. And finally I pulled the trigger on this one. Leslie Nielsen, who is also in Creepshow, Anne Francis, and Walter Pidgeon, of course. And of course, Robbie the Robot. And the Id Monster is just and what's great about this one, it's got some documentaries, some good special features back here, and deleted scenes, featurettes, and this TCM original documentary, which I saw some of on YouTube one time. I think you can actually see it on YouTube, called Watch the Skies, Science Fiction in the 1950s and Us, and I really enjoyed it, and I'm glad it's on there, and that's one of the reasons that I got it. Maybe that's why I never got it on DVD, because it didn't have those special features. A lot of the sci-fi and fantasy stuff, that's really my reason for finally buying that Blu-ray player, because I was missing these special features. So glad I found that one. Finally got that and added to my collection. So that was a lot for me on one outing. I usually don't do that much, but there you go. That's my Fry's Electronics haul for today, and hopefully, well, not for a while. I don't think I have the money to go again, and plus I have to start saving up for that Criterion sale. So okay, I'll see you guys next time, and yeah, keep watching those movies. All right, bye.